Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of high school basketball with the Bethany Christian Bruins. Tonight from Buller Court in the Meadowlands on the campus of Bethany Christian Schools in Goshen, Indiana, it is the Bruins of Bethany Christian who were 17-8 a season ago. They were 17-8 a season ago but graduated 70% of their scoring. They are taking on 18-7. Wow. All right, one stat into the broadcast and one stat wrong. Let's try that again. It's the 18-7 Bethany Christian Bruins, at least they were last year, before they graduated 70% of their scoring, taking on the Chargers of West Noble High School. West Noble last year was 2-23, but also brings back about a third of their scoring as well. Trying to do math on the air, we are not off to a good start. Hopefully the game goes better. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tony Miller with you from high above courtside up here in the mezzanine on the east end of the gym, watching the Bruins warm up right now. West Noble is out on the opposite end of the floor, or they will be once we get things going here in a matter of moments, about 90 seconds away from the opening tip. As the Bruins, of course, are coming off one of the more successful two-year runs in school history, went all the way to the state final 2 seasons ago, won a sectional title last year before running into the buzzsaw that was Caston in the regional tournament. But they have graduated a fair amount of the resources that it took to get there. Off last year's team, Zoe Willems ended up graduating as Bethany's all-time career leader in just about every major statistical category. If there were any that she didn't get, Mariah Stolzfus probably did. That duo combining for 670 points last year, and that was with Stolzfus missing 11 games. Anyways, Stolzfus now at Grace College. Willems is now at Trine University. They are obviously no longer in high school. A couple of other seniors off that team departed as well. Eva Horning, Morgan Schupp, Lana Borgman as well. So it was a full-blown starting five. But the Bruins will still have the more experienced starting five here this evening. They will roll out 3 juniors and a senior, along with freshman Amari Lind, while West Noble goes 1 freshman, 3 sophomores, 1 junior, and no seniors in the starting lineup. In a moment here, we'll get the starting lineups announced in the gym, but as I just hinted at, I think we already have that here this evening in our broadcast position, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. The Bruins will roll with junior Kendrick Kern, number 14, averaged 1.8 points a game a season ago. Classmate Corey Chupp in the backcourt, 5'4" and a junior, 2.1 points a game in 20 games a season ago. Carly Kroom and Ellie Morris also on the floor. Kroom, 6.1 points per game last year in 23 games, so just about every contest. Morris is the team's leading returning scorer by at least by points per game. I guess she was the third leading scorer on the team, from a points per game standpoint last year, although she missed most of the season. It would end up being 15 out of the 25 games after injuring her foot in December. Morris is a 5'6" junior, and Amari Lind is a 5'6" freshman. Obviously, she does not have high school stats last year because she was in 8th grade last season. For West Noble, they'll counter with number 10, Addison Burns, a 5'3" freshman. They've got Marley Mast, a 5'6" sophomore, at 4 points a game last year. Allison Resendez, a 5'3" sophomore, at 2.3 points a game. Kaylee Jordan, a 5'8" junior, 2.3 points a game last year. And Reagan Esch, a 5'10" sophomore, did not see any varsity action last year. It is 7 of the 13 players on the roster are back from last year's team. But I'm thinking that West Noble last year in its first year under head coach Haley Holliday may well have been in the spot where the best thing about freshmen is they turn into sophomores, because 2-23 is not usually an experience that you look to replicate. On the other side of the coaching, on the other coach's box this evening, Kristen Parson in her 19th season at Bethany Christian High School. She is the current longest tenured head coach in Elkhart County at her current post for either boys or girls, and She got over the 500 win plateau for the first time, or the 500 winning percentage plateau for the first time since her first season last year. The Bruins, finishing last year, obviously there was a winning streak at the end of the season. I guess they won 3 in a row going into their regional final loss. Also had a 5-game winning streak in the middle of the year, and they started the season 9-0 before losing to Wawasee. A little bit rougher sledding toward the end of the slate, though. They would finish the regular season 2-5 in their last 7 games. But you can wad up last year's stat sheet and throw it out the window because we are about to get 2024-2025 set to go tonight on Bruins Vision. It's Bethany in the home white uniforms, blue numerals, blue trim. Looks like a new set this year, different number typeface than they were using last year. West Noble is in the blue uniforms with white numerals and red trim, and West Noble will go right to left on your streaming device as Bethany wins the opening tip. And the Bruins are in action from left to right. Here's Morris trying to split a double team. Goes back outside to Corey Chupp, who puts the ball on the ground to her left. Back inside for a jumper at the foul line from Carly Kroom. Kroom opens the scoring for the Bruins this season. And the Bethany's got a 2-0 lead with 23 seconds gone in the first quarter. Over here on the right side for West Noble, this is Addison Burns handling the ball for the first time at the varsity level because she's a freshman. Ball is knocked out of bounds over there, and it will be a throw-in for the Chargers. 28 seconds gone in the opening quarter. Last year when these two teams met, it was a 17-point Bruin victory, I believe. 45-28. Which ended up being right around what these teams averaged on the season last year. Bethany averaged 47.4 points a game, and West Noble was right on 28.0. As the pass comes back outside for a 3-point try from Burns, it was strong off the back iron. Marley Mast had the pass to the open player, but knocking down the shot was a different story, and the Bruins are back in action. Morris underneath to Carly Kroom from the right side elbow. She, too, hit the back of the iron, and West Noble has possession as the Chargers go from right to left here in the season opener. Over on the left side wing is Allison Resendez, the 5'3" sophomore, number 22. Gets the ball off to Addison Burns at the top of the circle. On the low post down there, Kaylee Jordan's number 44, and number 50 is over here on what is their left side elbow, your near side. Reagan Esch. Reagan Esch, it was the post player there for West Noble as they decided to put the ball in the basket right as we were working our way through the starting lineup. So it is now 2-2, both teams scoring on one of their first 2 possessions. Morris running the point here, has the ball over in the right side corner. Corey Chupp's right wing 3 is on the way too strong. Amari Lind has her first varsity rebound and misses on the short side. Rebound taken out of there by Jordan as West Noble will bring the ball back across the division line and look for their first lead of the night. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Again, if you are new to high school basketball, and I guess we all are, at least for this season, 4 8-minute quarters at the varsity level. There's a mercy rule in effect if we get to 35 points in the second half, but that is a long way away at this point, at least 14 minutes of game action. There's no shot clock in the high school game either, and I will at some point tonight find myself looking up at the top of the backboard where that feels like one ought to be. On the left side wing for West Noble, this is Resendez bringing the ball back up top. Kendra Kern on the defensive pressure there as the 3-point try from Mast hits off back iron. Rebound is taken by Kroom for the Bruins. They go out ahead into Kendra Kern, who gets the layup to go. Kern with her first bucket of the season. Gee, I could say that all night, but this is coming to you from the sort of person who thought it was a good idea to point out that every winning mark in the first track meet at Boddicker Field a couple of years ago was a new facility record. You know, it's technically true, but it's not particularly helpful. This is Burns out on the left side wing for West Noble. Over into the corner, Mast goes baseline, backs the ball back outside, and they will work it around the perimeter. One thing that West Noble was pretty good at doing last year was being fairly deliberate as the shot misses there from Addison Burns. And the Bruins have the rebound, so it is, I think, 4 straight one-shot possessions for West Noble, just that one of them went in as the 3-point try from Corey Chupp is down. Unfortunately for West Noble, the combination of deliberate offense and low shooting percentages does not lead two particularly high scoring totals. The Chargers last year shot 27% from the floor and 18% from three-point range, which is, not something they would be looking to write home about. Pass goes underneath, and it's going to be West Noble ball as Morris got in to tie the ball up. Jordan will end up keeping possession. West Noble had the alternating arrow at that point, so we will use that alternating arrow for the first time this season with 3:57 gone in the opening quarter. Bounce pass comes in, layup from Jordan on the short side, and I think they're going to get Morris for getting arms tangled with the shooter who was actually behind her as they went up for the rebound. Morris's first personal, team foul number 1 on the Bruins as the ball comes in over the top. Three-point try here in the corner is off back iron, and the uncontested rebound comes to Kern for the Bruins. While I'm thinking about it, the officials tonight are Phil Touche, James Zietzer, and Brad Armstrong. Didn't get them in before the opening tip like we would have liked because it's the first game of the season for all of us, but so far it's been easier sledding for the Bruins than for the Chargers. 7-2, and Bethany goes to the foul line here with 3:37 to go in the opening quarter, and West Noble has some subs ready to check into the game, but they are a little on the eager side. Number 1, we've got to report the subs first, as I think that was Jordan picking up her first personal foul. And number 2, there are free throws involved, so Kern will drop in the first one of the season, and now we'll put the subs into the game. West Noble puts in number 30, Leah Pruitt, and number 34, Ava DeLong. Bethany counters with number 30, Kaylee Rassi. So Kern now with 3 points tonight. She will not get a fourth, at least not on this trip, as the free throw misses off to the left, and West Noble gets the rebound, pushing them across the division line here as Resendez over to the right side. Marley Mast goes back up top to Pruitt underneath, and the pass goes into the lane where Morris picks it off. Ellie comes to a jump stop, left side elbow. Chupp had her right foot on the three-point line, so it is the longest two imaginable for the Bruin Junior. We've got a timeout on the floor. This is a 30-second timeout taken by West Noble because in less than 5 minutes they are trailing by the count of 10-2. With that, we remind you that we've got an awful lot of basketball coming your way here on Bruins Vision this season. Bethany's got, you're allowed 22 games for the boys and 22 games for the girls, and whenever they are at home, we'll have them for you here on Bruins Vision and the IHSAA Champions Network. Not necessarily all of them will have audio commentary. Schedule conflicts are a thing. We'll put words behind as many of the pictures as we can, as the Bruins are back in action on Tuesday night against Jimtown. Just like tonight, pregame coverage at 5:57 with the tip-off to follow at 6 o'clock. One of the things that Bethany does not have a whole lot of this year is depth. They are dressing 8 players tonight. Adrian Schupp, a junior, is on the varsity roster but is in street clothes. That's because they only have 9 players in the program this year, so suffice it to say that junior varsity preliminary games will not be a thing. West Noble's working the ball around the perimeter here. That's going into the corner from Marley Mast. Back up top, Resendez goes to the right side. Now Addison Burns is going to turn and work the ball over to the left side wing, and DeLong. This is Resendez trying to work her way inside as the pass goes over into the corner. Mast has it. She went baseline. She went a little too baseline and stepped on the stripe for the turnover. So the ball will go back to Bethany with 2:31 to go in the first quarter as the Bruins put Carly Kroom back into the ball game. Kendra Kern will depart. So it's Amari Lind, Ellie Morris, Olivia Mast, number 32, on the floor with Rassi and somebody else. Kroom just came in, of course, as they're the Bruins turned the ball over, and this is Resendez coming back into the forecourt. Baseline jumper from Mast was too short. Kroom had the rebound swatted out of her hands, and Morris has the board. She'll bring the Bruins back up the floor. 2:03 to play in the opening quarter as Kroom works through the double team, tries to pass her way out of trouble and got out of trouble, but turned the ball over in the process. Resendez gets the steal and has the Chargers back in the forecourt. 3-point try from the right side wing is good for Marley Mast. The Chargers dial long distance for the first time this season, and they trail 10-5 with 102 seconds left in the opening quarter. Morris brings the ball across the division line. Her pass goes over to the left side to Amari Lynn. They look underneath for Kern and turns the ball over in the process. She was stripped by her numerical counterpart, Ava DeLong, as West Noble can cut it to a one-possession game here with a score on this trip. That's the sort of thing you can do in the first quarter when even if it feels like you're behind, you're still only giving up 8 or 10 points as the pass into the corner is incomplete if we want to borrow the football parlance. Elise Mead checks into the game for West Noble. That's number 20. And the Chargers will get the ball back in the corner off the deflection out of bounds. Pulling up for the three-point try is Burns, and she knocks it down. So Burns with the second West Noble three of the game as the pass from Morris is underneath to Lind. She misses off the bottom of the iron, and now with a three on this possession, West Noble could go on a 9-0 run and take the lead. There's a bounce pass over into the left side corner. Shot is too strong, and it's going to go all the way out of bounds before DeLong has a chance to get to it. 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. It'll be Bethany basketball on the baseline, and the Bruins bring in a couple of their more experienced players in Kendra Kern and Corey Chupp, who are on the floor in the place of Rassie and Mast. So like I said, having seen some small college games so far this season, as recently as yesterday, when you start bringing the ball in play with 55 seconds to go, I'm instinctually looking at the shot clock and thinking, how fast can you, or how slowly can you work and still have a chance to get the ball back before the end of the quarter. Doesn't matter in high school because there is no shot clock, and the Bruins only used 9 seconds there before the turnover anyway. On the drive from the right side, the shot from Burns is much too strong. The rebound is taken by Marley Mast over in the left side corner, and West Noble looks like they're going to back it out and maybe hold for the final shot of the first quarter. 23 seconds to go as they work the ball around the perimeter here. DeLong had the pass, got the rebound on the three-point try, and she will be fouled and head to the line, but the foul is not necessarily an awful thing for the Bruins because that will ensure that they get the ball back. Amari Lind picks up her first personal, team foul number 2, as the free throw is good from DeLong. Second free throw forthcoming in a matter of moments. This would tie the game, but it doesn't as it's no good. Rebound bounces around like a pinball machine for a moment before the Chargers get it back. Down to 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Pulling up at the top of the circle for a three is Addison Burns. No good. Rebound off back iron to Kern. Kendra brings the ball into the forecourt, stripped from behind by Marley Mast, and West Noble will have one more chance if they're quick and they don't get it off. So, with 8 minutes down and 24 to go, it is Bethany Christian 10, West Noble 9 here on Bruins Vision. We will mark that one down in the book and get ready for the second quarter of action. Again, Bethany is back in action next Tuesday when they take on Jimtown. That is a 6 p.m. start here at Boulder Court, and one of those things that comes with not having a JV program this year is there's no JV game before the varsity, so if you're used to those 7 or 7:30 tip-offs from years past, you got to set the body clock a little bit earlier here for the girls' games that are tipping off at 6. Of course, all of our body clocks are a little bit screwed up right now with the whole daylight savings time switch that happened over the weekend. Trying to work my way. My running score and my running score and my individual totals are off, and the season is less than a quarter old. That's not what we call a great omen. Ella Limerick had the first bucket for West Noble, and just realizing that I said it happened, and I never actually wrote it down, so she's got 2 points for the Chargers. She is another of the 3 freshmen they've got on the varsity roster. Burns, Limerick, and Ava DeLong all getting action as ninth graders. As it is Bethany ball to start the second quarter. Arrow is going to go back to West Noble on the inbound pass, and I have now been corrected that it was actually Kaylee Jordan that scored the first 2 points for West Noble. I was going to say, I didn't think I remembered Limerick coming into the game, and the three-point try from Kern is off to the right, no good. Rassi gets the offensive rebound, and the three-point try from Chupp in the opposite corner is even less good. The foul a moment ago was on DeLong, incidentally, her first. Team foul number 1 of the second quarter. Going to be a long time before my brain fully processes the whole business where where the fouls reset at the quarter in high school basketball now, for those of us who grew up on 7 fouls for the bonus and 10 for the double bonus in a half. West Noble has its first lead of the night now at 11-10 off that bucket a moment ago. Bounce pass along the baseline leads to a layup try from Pruitt that's no good. Offensive rebound was retrieved by Meade, and she put the ball back up and missed, and the foul is called against West Noble. Pruitt picks up her first personal, team foul number 2. And the ball rolled over into the corner where somebody had to go track it down. So using the old method of bookkeeping, we would not be particularly close to the bonus for either team. But here West Noble has already used 2 of its 4 fouls to give, so to speak, in the second quarter. As Morris is going to end up getting the strip, and as Burns went down, she watched Morris get the steal out against the timeline. This is Chupp over on the left side wing. Got a little bit of contact between her and the defender. Rassi works to her right, pulls up on the wing, and will get the ball out. She was looking for Chupp, and there was more contact as the ball went underneath for the layup that is good from Meade. She's got all 4 points in the second quarter, and Bethany calls 30-second timeout with 6:14 remaining in the stanza. So West Noble, I think, is on an 11-0 run. Dating back into the first quarter, the Bruins jumped out to a big lead and then don't have it anymore. 11 straight for the Chargers here in the opening 10 minutes or so. Of course, Bethany's boys will also be in action all season long here on Bruins Vision. Bethany opens its season on the road at Westview on Tuesday, November 26th, 2 days before Thanksgiving, in that spot where that game has been for years on end. Bethany will be at home on Saturday, November 28th, to take on West Noble. 6 o'clock JV game. Jenny Gonzalez into the game for Bethany, so she gets her first run of the season and has the ball here at the top of the circle. Into the left side corner, it is Morris with the ball. Now Kroom works it out up top to Gonzalez, and she is going to start wrestling for the ball with Marley Mast, and arrow's going to go, it's going to go over to West Noble, I think. The arrow on the scoreboard did not match the arrow at the scorer's table. And, of course, the one at the table is official and gains precedence and all, so it is a Bruin turnover. And one thing that I was about to point out with Rassi on that possession, and then Gonzalez did it here on the most recent one, is that one of the things that changes from middle school to high school is just the speed, the intensity of the game. Always kicks it up another notch to sound like Emerald Lagasse from the Food Network a few years ago. One of the challenges of any team sport is that you have to pass the ball before you get into trouble rather than after the trouble arrives. And the Bruins have been foiled by that on their last couple of possessions. And I think we're going to get a moving screen called here against West Noble, so that will be their third team foul of the quarter. That's DeLong's second personal, team foul number 3. So the Bruins are 2 fouls away from shooting for the balance of the quarter, even though West Noble only has 4 team fouls in the first half because the latter team stat doesn't matter anymore. This is Morris in the left side corner for Bethany, and she's got to find somebody to get the ball to, and tried to get it to Carly Kroom, but the deflection was intercepted by Elise Mead. Across the timeline for West Noble is Marley Mast, who dribbles in the right hand as she works the ball over toward the right side wing. Mead goes underneath. The shot try from Pruitt, no good. Rebound taken by Gonzalez. She'll get the ball out to Amari Lind, and Gonzalez bobbled it and caught it and moved her feet in the process. Traveling violation on the Bruins, as West Noble's going to put in a couple of, well, let's say new bodies. They are, in fact, starters returning to the lineup in Jordan Esch, and Kaylee Rassi checks in for Bethany as Gonzalez will head to the bench. One area that West Noble definitely has the advantage in is, I think, is overall player size. Jordan and Esch just checked in at 5'8 and 5'10 respectively. Limerick and Pruitt, both 5'8 or taller. Also DeLong, so 5 players at 5'8 or taller for West Noble, compared to just Kroom at 5'8 and Mast at 5'9 for the Bruins, as the shot try misses on the far end of the floor, and Morris tried to get the ball out in front, and okay, I'm going to say, I thought the point was to Bethany while the official said blue, but Kroom is indeed on the sideline as she grabs the ball. So it is another Bruin turnover, and West Noble will take possession. As speaking of Olivia Mast, now the second tallest player on the team, or the tallest player on the team actually at 5'9", she is into the game, number 32 for Bethany, as the bounce pass goes underneath, and the shot is up and good, out of the hands of Reagan Esch, the 5'10 sophomore. So it's 6-0 West Noble here in the second quarter, as the pass over in front of the Bethany, or of the West Noble bench, ends up in the West Noble bench, and Corey Chupp is back in for the Bruins. Past the midway point now of the second quarter, and the Bruins scoring drought now probably on the order of 6.5 minutes in length. 15-10 your score. West Noble won with its largest lead of the game because they've scored 13 points that are as of yet unanswered. Working herself into the triple team down low is Kaylee Jordan. She got the ball back up top, and Kendra Kern got the ball for the Bruins. I think we had a timeout called on the floor. Okay, it will be a Bethany full timeout. 3:27 to go in the first half. Chargers on a 13-0 run, and they've got a 15-10 lead right here on Bruins Vision. So far tonight, Corey Chupp is the game's leading scorer. She's got 5 points for Bethany. Kendra Kern also has 3 after scoring multiple times in the first quarter. West Noble has put the biscuit in the basket out of the hands of 6 players to get to 15 points. 3s for Addison Burns and Marley Mast. 2s for Elise Mead again, Kaylee Jordan and Reagan Esch. Ava DeLong added a free throw, and that's how they're at 15 with an even number of 3-pointers. Have halftime score is coming up at, believe it or not, halftime. As it was an interesting use of the timeout by Bethany in the sense that they had the alternating possession arrow. So if Kern had been tied up, they would have kept the ball on the arrow anyway. But, you know, there's an instinct as a coach when your player goes down in that scrum and you get the ball, called timeout, so you save possession. Chupp goes down to Morris in the corner. Morris has the ball knocked free, works it back up top to Kern. Kendra goes off to the left side. Chupp, Morris in the corner. Morris goes baseline, runs into one defender and then another, and tries to throw it down across the baseline and turns the ball over in the process. A couple of West Noble subs are into the game. Stella Venturi checks in, number 12, along with Addison Burns, number 10. Talked about West Noble being 2-23 a season ago. Their 2 wins were over Westview. They beat them by 13, and Bethany beat them by 19. They also beat Churubusco in the NECC midseason tournament after losing to them in the regular season by an 18-point margin. So not a whole lot of winning last year in Ligonier, but it did happen as the shot attempt from Jordan was up too strong, and Morris has the rebound for the Bruins. Here's Chupp trying to pull a three-pointer out of her hat from the left side wing, and she got the attempt, but not the make as the rebound came out, and Kern wins the held ball for the Bruins. Amari Lind back in for Bethany as Carly Kroom will head to the bench. Fresh possession for the Bruins off the offensive rebound with 2:31 to go second quarter. Ball comes in off the baseline. Chupp takes it back on the Boulder Court monogram. Morris goes underneath the mast, who has the ball slip through her hands. And the steal goes to Addison Burns as West Noble is 2 points away from being up by a touchdown. And 17-10 would be an eminently reasonable second quarter football score. 2:09 to go in this one, and of course we're playing basketball, although there are some teams that are still live in the IHSAA State Football Tournament. It will continue tomorrow night. Kern on the steal, and the run out misses the layup. Rebound is taken by Esch, and West Noble has the ball back in its possession. Deflection and steal to Morris as they work the ball up the left side wing. Morris goes back to Kern, who pulls up. I think she thought she was taking a three-point shot, but she was on the line. Mast gets the offensive rebound and puts it in for her first points of the evening. And it is 15-12. The Bruins are back within 3. 92 seconds to go in the opening half. Bounce pass over on the right-hand side comes to Burns. Back up top in the direction of Venturi, who's dribbling in the left hand. Pass comes into the lane. Burns pulls up and fires the three, left it short. Kern has the rebound for Bethany. And here is Morris bringing the ball across the timeline. She goes down to Morris on the right side block. I wasn't sure that Kendra saw the ball coming, as Morris gets it back over here on the left side wing. 64 seconds to go in the quarter. That Chupp three is up and got nothing but the palms of Reagan Esch. So the Bruins shoot for the tie. They miss everything, and West Noble has a chance to extend the lead now. 52 seconds to go in the half. No use it or lose it timeouts in play in the first half here either. That's just, at this point, I think that's just a college men's thing and maybe an NBA thing, but I cannot for the life of me remember how NBA timeout rules work, and I'm thinking I may not be the only one in that boat, as West Noble whips the ball back out and around for a Burns three-point try that misses. Went about 3/4 the way around the rim before it popped out, as West Noble is going to get the ball here on the alternating arrow with about 30 seconds to go in the first half. Checking in for West Noble is Leah Pruitt. Number 30 is back into the contest. Chargers have the ball down along the baseline as the pass goes into Pruitt, and her layup is too strong. Morris on the rebound for the Bruins, runs out into the attacking half on the floor. 20 seconds to go as she turns and goes baseline. Pass went to Lind, who kept it in on the left side block. Chupp back to Kern. Morris left side corner three-point try off the short side of the iron. Rebound taken by Reagan Esch, and West Noble's got 7 seconds to make something happen. Bounce pass comes into the middle of the floor, picked off by Morris. She'll throw up a runner at the end of the half and miss, and probably had another dribble or so before she had to let that one go. But, you know, it happened, and you move on from there. So the score at the end of 16 minutes of basketball is West Noble 15, Bethany Christian 12. We will take a look at our halftime leading scorers here before we step out and take a look at, I don't know, whatever we do over halftime these days. For West Noble, Addison Burns has 3 points. Marley Mast has 3. Elise Mead has 4. Ava DeLong with 1. Kaylee Jordan with 2. And Reagan Esch with 2. Playing but not scoring, we've got Leah Pruitt, Allison Resendez, and Stella Venturi. For West Noble, 9 points in the first quarter and 6 in the second get them to 15. On the Bethany side of the ledger, 10 of the 12 points came in the first quarter. Kendra Kern has 3, Corey Chupp has 5, Carly Kroom has 2, and Olivia Mast has 2. Playing but not scoring were Jenny Gonzalez, Ellie Morris, Kaylee Rassi, and Amari Lind. For the Bruins, like we said, 10 points in the first quarter and 2 in the second. That gets them to 12. 16 minutes down, 16 minutes to go. We'll be back with the second half for you in about 8 minutes as we are halfway through the season opener tonight on Buller Court. Again, West Noble 15, Bethany 12 at the intermission. You're watching Bruins Vision. Welcome back to Buller Court on the campus of Bethany Christian Schools in Goshen, Indiana, as we are getting set for the third quarter with West Noble leading Bethany tonight by the count of 15-12. Tony Miller with you from high above the east end zone up here, looking out on the mezzanine, from the mezzanine on which West Noble will be trying to conduct its business in the second half. Bethany put the biscuit in this basket a few times in the first quarter, but the well ran a little bit dry. After going up 10-2, they were outscored 13-2 for the rest of the first half. It's going to be West Noble ball, I believe. Is it? I've got an official in front of the... It is West Noble ball to start the third quarter. As West Noble, again, comes out in the blue uniforms, they will go from left to right on your streaming devices here. Addison Burns and Marley Mast in the backcourt. Looks like they have gone full starter reset. So Allison Resendez, Kaylee Jordan, and Reagan Esch on the floor, as the Bruins are also back to their original five: Kern, Shupp, Kroom, Morris, and Lind. Chargers have already burned the better part of 30 seconds off the game clock here before the three-point try from Burns is up and off the back iron. Rebound was retrieved, actually run down by Mast off the deflection from Jordan. And the Chargers are going to slow things down here. Well, they already have. We talk about it being much easier to slow a game down than it is to speed it up. So when I say that Bethany averaged 45 points a game a season ago, I mean, remember that includes a fair amount of playing at a slower tempo than they would like. West Noble averaged 28 points a game a season ago, and, well, the two teams in one half each combined for 27 points in the first half. As the pass goes underneath, and Lind gets the steal for the Bruins. She'll work the ball back up top to Ellie Morris, but the Bruins get hands on, it's not pigskin, it's leather of some sort, but I don't know exactly where basketball leather comes from. Bethany had the ball for about 13 seconds, and the shot from Carly Kroom was off the short side of the iron, and again, West Noble is in possession. Here's a three-point try from the right side, and the bank is open late on a Thursday night. Allison Resendez with the triple for West Noble. She is in the scoring column for the first time, as the Chargers double their lead to 18-12. It's the new largest lead of the night for West Noble, passing 15-10, which is a 5-point margin because, subtraction is a thing. Bruins work the ball out underneath, and it's deflected out of bounds. It's not a fresh possession. It was just a deflection. It wouldn't reset the shot clock. But that whole distinction of a fresh possession and a full 20 or 30 seconds really only matters when there is a shot clock. And like I said, I was watching college games this weekend. In the corner, this is Ellie Morris with the ball for the Bruins. She works back up top, had it deflected by Resendez. It's out of bounds off the Charger defender. And the Bruins will put the ball in play once again. Shupp finds Morris. Here's Shupp in the right side corner. Over to the left side for a long two from Carly Kroom that goes directly out of bounds. Shupp, incidentally, is still the game's leading scorer with 5 points because West Noble has spread the wealth around a fair bit. Still, we are coming up on a third of the way through the third quarter. We'll hit that at the 5:20 mark. As Chargers work the ball underneath, and Esch had the ball knocked away, tied up, and Bethany is going to get the possession with 5:27 to go in the third quarter. Kaylee Rassie is into the game for Bethany as Morris will depart. So it's Shupp, Kern, Rassie, Lind, and Kroom on the floor for the Bruins as they've got to get the ball across the division line, and Rassie works herself into that double team. It's really more of a triple team when you start using the timeline as an extra defender. Ball is knocked out of bounds and stays with Bethany, and Shupp will put the ball back in play from the division line once again. This is Kern going over to Chupp. Rassi in the right side corner, still looking for her first high school points. As she's double teamed, they bring a third defender over, and she gets the ball out to Chupp. Here is Kern at the top of the circle. Back to Chupp. Rassi spots up for a three, right side corner. Left it way short, but calling a pass as Kroom gets the rebound and scores. Not officially an assist on the play. It is, just a missed shot and an offensive rebound and a putback as Kaylee Jordan gets her second personal foul, team foul number 1 of the third quarter, and West Noble, it's a one-shot free throw opportunity, so there will be a chance to put them in. Leah Pruitt and Ava DeLong checking into the game, I think, for West Noble. Free throw from Kroom is in off the right side of the iron and also the backboard. So Kroom has Bethany's first points of the third quarter with an old-fashioned three-point play. And the Chargers have the ball back across the division line. They'll go over to the left side wing. Resendez is over here in the corner. Back up top to Marley Mast, who is pretty well slowing things down to a walk. And Resendez fires the three from the left side wing. Long shot turns into a long rebound, and Burns comes all the way out by the table to get the rebound, and then she dribbled the ball off her foot. And Resendez went into the backcourt to get the ball, which is a good move in the sense that, it's an over and back violation, but if you don't get it, Bethany can, if Bethany picks that ball up, it becomes a live ball turnover. Here, at least you get a chance to set your defense in the front court. This is Rassi on the left side wing, back to Kern at the top of the circle. Chupp on the right side, down into the corner, baseline drive from Kroom, and she is run into by DeLong, and if that foul is on the player, I think it is, that's DeLong's third personal here before the midway point of the third quarter. DeLong's third, team foul number 2. Rassi's on the right side wing for Bethany off the inbound pass. Here's a Kern three from the left side. No good. Offensive rebound comes back to Kern, and her shallow jumper is off the right side of the iron as well. Pruitt had the ball for West Noble. Back across the division line in the hands of Burns as Chargers have had their lead cut to 3, but they were down by as many as 8 in this contest as the ball goes underneath, and Pruitt actually trapped the ball between her knees originally. She is called for traveling in the process. And the ball will go over to Bethany as Kroom had turned around to look at the bench for the play call, and, that could have gotten interesting. The Bruins are happy it didn't. Chupp goes to Kern, now back to Chupp along the right side wing. She is pinned along the sideline. A foul called on West Noble will give Bethany a fresh possession over there on the right side. 3:34 to go in the third quarter. And West Noble was down to one foul to give before Bethany would go to the free throw line. Ellie Morris comes back into the contest as the shot along the baseline comes from Kroom. She is fouled on the way up, and if that is, got to check who this foul is going on. That's DeLong. That is her fourth. So her debut high school basketball performance could be a short one, but Kroom misses the first free throw, so at least for the moment, the effect of the foul on the score is mitigated. West Noble goes back to the bench. Reagan Esch is in. DeLong is out, not surprisingly, after picking up her fourth personal. The other thing is that's West Noble's fourth foul of the third quarter. And so, with 3:34 to go, Bethany is shooting for the balance of the quarter on any West Noble foul unless it's player or team control. Pass along the baseline is deflected by Kern, but she wasn't able to bring the ball in before losing it over the baseline. West Noble gets the ball back, 200 seconds to go in the quarter. That's 3:20. Baseline jumper is up and good from the right side by Marley Mast. She's up to 5 points now, and the West Noble lead is back to 4 at 20-16. Kroom goes underneath to Rassi. Her shot from the left side up and good. Rassi's first points of high school. Gets the Bruins back within 2 at 20-18. Chargers have the ball in the left side corner to Addison Burns, and Kern will be called for being too curious on the defensive exploration. It is Bethany's first foul since the first quarter. So they'd gone at least 13 minutes without a defensive infraction, which at face value sounds like a good thing. But you also have to wonder, the reality is like you get 4 fouls before you give up bonus free throws. You get 4 fouls before you're disqualified on defense. So you wonder, like when you go 13 minutes without fouling, are you playing a little bit less defense than you'd like to be? Like there's an amount of acceptable foul rate going on, and 0 might be a little bit low for that. As Mast cans the jump shot, West Noble back up 4 at 22-18. This is Rassi in the left side corner for the Bruins. Runs into the double team, gets the ball out to Kern at the top of the circle. 2:15 to go, third period. Morris fires a 3 from the right side corner. It's off the short side of the iron. Kern had gotten into box out. Rassi gets the offensive rebound, and the foul is called on Mast, who came in to try to take it away from her. So Mast's first foul is team foul number 5, and Rassi will go to the foul line for some free throws. Rassi does not have a field goal or a free throw percentage in high school because she's never shot one. Now she has. First foul shot is good. Amari Lind is into the game for Bethany. She got all the way onto the floor before Kendrick Kern checked out. Second free throw for Rassi. Off back iron, no good. Rebound ended up on the floor before it was retrieved by Leah Pruitt. So the West Noble lead is 3. Bruins have gotten as close as 2 since falling behind 15-10, but they have yet to take the lead. There's a Mass jumper that she pulled up a little early on. Rassi got the rebound, gets the ball out to Chupp, and here come the Bruins. They can tie with a 3 or get, 67% of the way there with a 2. On the right side wing here, Corey Chupp with 1:43 to go in the first half, down to Olivia Mast, who came in a moment ago. This is Morris back to Mast in the free throw circle. She is fouled as she goes up with the shot. Not actually sure who they're going to call that foul on, but it will be somebody. There were a couple of players that converged on Mast before she put the shot up. So Mast will go to the foul line. Her first attempt is off to the left side, no good. Mast does have a free throw percentage from last year, although not a whole lot of data, just appeared in 6 games at the varsity level. She was 1 for 4 from the 15-foot stripe. As West Noble goes to the bench, they put Elise Mead back into the ball game, and Mast will have another free throw opportunity, and this one is in off the right side. So Bethany has gone to the free throw line on 5 separate occasions tonight. One of them was an and one opportunity. The other 4, they have made 1 out of 2 all 4 times. Runner from the right side from Mast was on the short side. Mast got the rebound, just about threw the ball too hard for Ellie Morris to grab it, and Morris picked up her dribble and put it back down, and that's the sort of thing that will make the official blow the whistle 9 times out of 10. Well, no, 10 times out of 10, I'd say. It's one thing to get away with traveling and double dribbles and whatever when you're down in the low post and there's a mass of humanity around you. You do it out on the perimeter, they're going to catch you pretty much every time, especially when it's that much of a disruption to the natural motion of going up the floor, as that was a moment ago. Morris brings the ball into the forecourt for the Bruins. Fakes to her left, goes off to the right to Corey Chupp. We are into the final minute now of the third quarter. Over on the right side wing is Morris. She'll go back up top to Rassi in the left slot. She thought about the three-point try, and in so doing, she went up and back down. And that's a traveling violation. 51.6 seconds remaining in the third stanza. And let's see, it'll be West Noble ball to start the fourth quarter. So if they run this out here, they could get 2 possessions for the price of 1, so to speak. As a jumper off, the offensive rebound from a missed three-pointer is again too strong, and the Rebound will be back out of bounds to West Noble. Bruins are going to put in a couple of substitutes here as Rassi is on her way out, and Kern comes in, and somebody's got to leave the floor now. It's Mast. Carly Kroom also checked in on the dead ball. 37 and 7/10 seconds remaining. West Noble gets the ball. They go up top. Shot attempt from Mast was blocked by Morris. Morris goes out in front to Lind, whose runner from the left side is good. Amari Lind now on in the scorer's book for the first time in high school, outside of that foul she had in the first quarter. And we are tied at 22 with 17 seconds to go in the third. West Noble pass underneath, intercepted by Kroom. Here is Morris out in front to Lind, and she scores again. So a personal 4-0 run for Amari Lind. As Bethany on a 6-0 run. West Noble gets the ball across the division line, and Chupp gets the steal, but the Bruins don't get anything out of it. And at the end of 3 periods of play, Bethany just doubled its score for the quarter in the last 3 possessions. Anyway, at the end of 3 periods of play, it is Bethany 24, West Noble 22. The Bruins did score as many points in the third quarter as they did in the first 2 combined. They held West Noble to 7 points in the third, and Bethany takes a 2-point lead into the final 8 minutes. Again, we remind you that we've got Bethany Christian basketball all season long here on Bruins Vision. Bethany will take on Jimtown Tuesday night in their second game of the season, home or away. They start the season with 2 at home. Then they go on the road to Elkhart Christian next Friday. There are a couple of other encounters before we see them back here at home on Saturday the 23rd. I think it is. No, Saturday the 30th against Argus is the following home game.
You good?
I think I am good. The fourth quarter will go a long way to determining how good I am. But, because this is very much an early season contest that I talk about. No coach has ever left the first game of the season feeling like their team was perfect. There's always something to improve on. And neither Coach Halliday on the West Noble bench nor Coach Parson on the Bruin bench will have any problem finding those things in the first game. But we will go more or less down to the wire. It's a 2-point game as we start the fourth quarter, and hard to ask for much more than that. As West Noble goes down along the baseline, ball comes back out to Addison Burns. She has joined in the backcourt by Marley Nast, number 14. They go down along the baseline with the ball inside to Pruitt, who gets it back, and the jump shot try is no good from Elise Mead, number 20. West Noble's also got Reagan Esch out there, number 50. Here's Kroom's free throw line jumper that hits back iron, no good. Rebound tapped around a little bit before it's retrieved by Pruitt. Bethany has Curran, Morris, Chupp, Kroom, and Lind on the floor. Pretty sure that's the starting 5 with 7:16 to go in the fourth period. They go down along the baseline to Esch, back up top to Addison Burns. Burns working to her left, defended by Morris. One of those things that, it's only an 8-minute quarter, and when you don't have a shot clock, and it's not uncommon for possessions to stretch out to 30 and 40 seconds, also when the clock doesn't stop on a made basket ever in high school, that time can get away from you real fast, as the shot attempt from Mast was interrupted by Kroom. Curtin got the rebound, and Morris is out in transition. Ellie, despite being the leading returning scorer on this team from last year, hasn't scored yet tonight. She had 8.8 points a game a season ago. And I'm looking here, and Carly Kroom scored more total points, but that's because she played twice as many games. Morris got hurt. So she averaged 8.8 points a game, but that was 88 over 10, as opposed to Kroom, 141 over 23. Shot attempt missed for the Bruins, though, and West Noble is back into its attacking half here on the near side. 3-point try is on the way and rims out short out of the hands of Mead. Lind has the rebound for the Bruins. And it's going to be Morris coming to a jump stop, left side elbow. Kroom's foul line jumper rattles out. Lind has the rebound. Count the basket and put her on the foul line. Amari Lind with the last 6 points for Bethany Christian. And she will go to the line to try to make this a 5-point game with 6:01 to go in the fourth quarter. West Noble foul on number 30, Leah Pruitt. Her second, team foul number 1. DeLong and Jordan check in for West Noble as Meade and Pruitt depart. And Lynn actually jump shot the free throw, missed it. Kern got the offensive rebound, had her shot blocked, and Jordan will get the rebound and try to lead West Noble away. Bruins have a 4-point lead, which is their largest since it was 10-2. But Marley Mast goes coast to coast and gets the bucket to go. So she's got West Noble on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter. Timeout for the Chargers is taken with 5:51 remaining. So both teams have 3 timeouts to go the rest of the way. If you use the full and the 30. While I'm thinking about it, it's always dangerous. Carly Kroom with 6 points leads Bethany. Olivia Mast has 3. Amari Lind with fourth quarter, she's now got 6. On the West Noble side of the ledger, Marley Mast now has 9 points, so she's going to lead all scorers. Resendez with 3. DeLong's got 1. 2 for Jordan, 2 for Esch. That's one of those where you hope the numbers add up, and if they don't, then the scorebook is what we call performance art. It is 22 for West Noble at the end of the third quarter, though, and we'll have the unofficial post-game scorers coming up as part of the post-game show, because if we had them any earlier, they wouldn't be post-game scorers. They would be like middle of the fourth quarter scorers, and that's where we find ourselves now. Not even really middle of the fourth quarter yet. A little less than 6 minutes to go in regulation. Bruins with the lead, Bruins with the basketball as we come down to the wire on opening night here in Waterford Mills. Shutt puts the ball into Morris, who will walk it up the floor in her left hand, or dribbling with her left hand. Kern's over here on the left side wing. One area that the Bruins, I think, we talked about West Noble's big advantage being literally a big advantage in their physical size, is Kroom's jumper in the free throw lane is good, and Kroom now with 8 for Bethany. The West Noble's advantage is its physical size, 5 players, 5'8" or taller. The Bruins just have more experience on the roster, 4 juniors and a senior among their 9 players on the floor. There's a out of bounds throw in here along the baseline. So while I'm not saying that every single one of Bethany's upperclassmen has an awful lot of experience, along with the points, last year's senior class did get a lot of playing time. But they've been in a few more close situations than this West Noble team, which has used 2 players tonight who are freshmen and started only 1 upperclassman. Pass came into the middle of the court, and ball is tied up on the alternating arrow. It'll go over to Bethany with 4:56 remaining in the fourth quarter. So the Bruins will have a chance to extend their 4-point lead. 4:52 to go in regulation. As Morris brings the ball across the timeline. Ellie stops on the right side, pass out to... She was looking for Chump, and it took a deflection, so it came at Corey from a weird angle and kind of nutmegged her. I know she's a volleyball player, but nutmegging is the soccer term for when somebody beats you by going between your legs, through the 5-hole would be the hockey term. In this case, the basketball term is turnover, and West Noble nearly answers that with one of its own. Marley Mast saved it, but then she went over the division line in the process. I think she thought the ball had been deflected by the defender, and the official disagreed. So it is Bethany ball on the West Noble giveaway with 4:33 remaining in regulation. Pass comes in from Shupp to Morris. Bruins have, it was 22-18 West Noble with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. So over the last 6 minutes or so, Bethany has outscored West Noble 10-2, same as their run at the beginning of the game. As Lind goes baseline, and the West Noble foul is called on number 44, Kaylee Jordan. Her third, team foul number 2 of the fourth quarter. Pruitt had one earlier. Bruins put the ball in over the top to Kroom. One dribble and a right elbow jumper, and she gets it to go. Carly Kroom with 10 points tonight. She is the first player from either team to hit double figures. She gets the Bruins to the 30-point mark, a 6-point lead with 4:04 to go. Chargers get the ball out up top. I think they were looking for Addison Burns, threw it over her head. David DeLong got it. Here's Burns going back to the right side wing to Mast, who will drive baseline. There is contact on the drive down the right side of the lane, and Jordan ran into Kern, and Jordan is larger, and she had momentum, and Kern went down pretty fast. Kern's second personal, team foul number 1 on Bethany in the fourth quarter. Fresh possession for the Chargers with 3:53 to go in regulation. Bounce pass comes in. Jordan works her way inside, misses the layup. Ball is out of bounds, and looks like it'll stay on this end. Off the baseline inbound play, the ball comes into Burns. 3-point try from the corner is an air ball. Morris has the rebound, dribbled behind her back to get around the defender. Comes into the forecourt. Bethany could match or extend its largest lead of the game with a score on this possession. And Kroom's free throw line jumper will put the Bruins up 8 for the first time since it was 10-2. Personal 6-0 run for Carly Kroom. 32-24, Bethany in front, and now the Chargers have to be in a certain level of comeback mode. With an 8-point deficit, it's going to take them probably 3 possessions to come back in this game, and that's assuming they don't give up any points in the process as Kern reaches in on Mast. It'll be Kern's third personal, all of them in the second half, and in fact, Kendra Kern now has 3 personal fouls, which is more than every other Bethany player combined. Bruins have 5 fouls, and Kern has 3 of them tonight. Both teams with 2 personal fouls, so 2 to give until somebody starts shooting bonus free throws. The 3-point try from Burns was too strong. Kroom got the rebound. She's fouled. It's just a common foul. No foul shots here as the foul's on Ava DeLong. And I believe I saw a timeout called on the floor. The foul is on Ava DeLong. It's her 5th and disqualifying foul. This will be a full timeout taken by the Bruins with 3:07 to go. So I said Bethany was up West Noble was up 22-18 with about 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, or in the third quarter. That means that over the last 7 minutes or so, Bethany is on a 14-2 run. And now DeLong has... She about said she expired. No, that would be bad. Expired usually means she died. And that certainly didn't happen here. But DeLong has fouled out with 1 point in the game. That was a first quarter free throw. If you were with us, it was a tale of 2 halves in the first half. So really it was a tale of 2 quarters. Bruins jumped out to a 10-2 lead. West Noble countered with 13 straight points to go up as many as 15-10. Or as many as 5 at 15-10. It was 15-12 at halftime. And then Bethany has, they've scored 20 points in the last quarter and a half after putting up a total of 12 in the first half. They scored 12 in the third quarter. Now they've got 8 in the fourth. Carly Kroom with 6 and Amari Lind with 2 of those. So Kroom currently leading all scorers. She has 12 points. Amari Lind has 6 on the Bruin side of the ledger. Corey Chupp with 5, all of them in the first quarter. Off the West Noble foul, it is Bethany basketball. The other thing is the Chargers only have 1 foul to give as they look to extend the game. As Lind goes baseline, her runner is too strong. Defensive rebound retrieved by Ella Limerick, who is into the contest for West Noble tonight. Limerick is number 24 down here in the low post. As they work the ball over to the left side, it was Burns looking for the pass inside. Kroom got the steal. Burns got the counter steal as Bethany came into the forecourt. And the Chargers will bring it back from right to left and try to make something happen once again. It was Mast giving the ball back to Burns. Now Mast is up against the sideline, defended by Kern. Bruins are not going to make life easy for West Noble as the pass goes into the Chargers bench. It's a turnover, and it will be Bethany basketball. If you're just joining us, again, it was 24-22 Bethany at the end of 3 quarters, so it's been 8-2 Bethany here in the fourth. as Kearns over on the right side wing. Morris spots up for the left side wing three. Left it on the short side. Rebound is taken by Burns. And like we talked about, clock never stops on a made basket in high schools. We come under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Unless they get 2 4-point plays, it would take 3 possessions for West Noble to come all the way back, as the shot attempt is up, and they're going to send Limerick to the foul line. Shot actually went over the top of the backboard, not a play, but there was a reason for that, namely that she was being fouled in the process. Amari Lind picks up her second personal foul, team foul number 3. Both teams now with 3 infractions. Limerick's first foul shot is good. So there once was a man from Ligonier. Yeah, I realize she's probably heard a few Limericks in her life. I'm sorry about that. 32-25, second free throw from Limerick on the way off back iron. No good, and that's a big one for the Bruins in terms of a 7-point lead, still being a 3-possession margin. Morris shovels the ball outside to Chupp. Bank is open late for the corner 3. Corey's got 8 tonight, and the Bruins' lead is run up to 10 at 35-25. That's the largest lead of the night, as West Noble tries to get the diagonal drive from Meade. She banks the ball out to Burns on the right side wing. Final 90 seconds of regulation. Burns uses a defender to effectively screen herself. Gets the ball over to the left side wing and mass, and the handoff does not go as planned. Chupp gets the steal out in front to Morris. She has the ball knocked away from behind. It is Bethany basketball with 75 seconds remaining. Kaylee Rassi checks in for West Noble, or for Bethany, I should say. And looks like 22 is Allison Resendez checking in for West Noble. 35-25 the score. Kroom gets the shot from the left side block, and she missed, but she was fouled in the process, so she will go to the stripe, where she will try to make it 37-25. West Noble foul is on Limerick. That's her first and the team's fourth. So every subsequent defensive foul by West Noble will send Bethany to the free throw line as Kroom sinks the first. Amari Lind is in. Corey Chupp is out with 72 Kaylee Rassi is out with 72 seconds to go. Kroom at the foul line will sink the second. She's got 14 points tonight. 8 of those come in the fourth quarter. So she scored more points in the last 7 minutes than she did in the first 24. As West Noble gets the ball into the half-court set, but not much farther. The pass out across the top of the circle goes directly out of bounds. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Bethany throw in from the three-point line extended. Rassi back in. Lind out. So again, from that 22-18 point over the last 9 minutes or so, the Bruins have gone on a 19-3 run, as this is Morris out around the perimeter. Rassi's on the left side wing. She gets the ball to Chupp on the right side. They have run off a full quarter of the final minute, as Morris is defended along the left side wing. She dribbles in the right side, or in the right hand, to bring the ball back into the center jump circle. Now she'll pull it off to the left side in front of the bench. No closely guarded count in effect. Now the defender moves in along with Morris as she gets around her. Rassi is in the corner, and the ball's going to come out to Chupp. And here the Bruins have run 40 seconds of the final minute off. It is Morris holding. It is Morris on a deflection into the middle of the floor. That's a turnover. West Noble gets the run out and the bucket from Marley Mast. She will likely finish with 11 because the clock continues running on the made basket. So Bethany gets the ball in, and they won't even have to get it across the division line. There's the horn, and the Bruins are 1-0 on the season. They outscore West Noble 25-12 after halftime, and they win the ball game by a final count of 37-27. We'll do a final run-through of our unofficial scoring totals here this evening before we wrap up. On the Bruins side of the ledger, Adrian Chupp did not dress. Jenny Gonzalez played but did not score. Kendra Kern had 3 points in the first quarter. Corey Chupp dropped 8. Carly Kroom, a big part of the offense in the second half. She scored 8 of Bethany's 13 in the fourth quarter and finishes the game with 14 points. Ellie Morris played, had the ball in her hands a lot, but didn't score. Kaylee Rassey had 3, Olivia Mast added 3, and Amari Lind with 6 in her high school debut. So for the Bruins, again, 14 points for Kroom, 8 for Chupp, and 6 for Lind. Bethany, 10 points in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 12 in the third, 13 in the fourth. That's a total of 37. West Noble had 3 points for Addison Burns. Stella Venturi played a little bit but didn't score. Marley Mast finishes with a team-high 11. Elise Mead had 4. Allison Resendez finishes with 3. Ella Limerick added that fourth quarter free throw. Leah Pruitt played but did not score. Ava DeLong fouled out with 1 point. Kaylee Jordan got 2 points. They were back in the first quarter. In fact, they were the first West Noble points of the game. 2 points for Reagan Esch rounds out the West Noble scoring. So again, the Chargers get a team-high 11 from Marley Mast, but none of her teammates have more than 4. For the Chargers, 9 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 7 in the third, and 5 in the fourth, for a total of 27. With that, the sands of time slip through the hourglass. You can pass in the songbooks on this one. The final score of another Bethany Christian basketball game is 37-27 in Bethany's favor, as the sands of time slip through the hourglass on another Bruins Vision telecast. This copyrighted telecast has been brought to you by the authority of Bethany Christian Schools Incorporated. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. Let's see. I'm Tony Miller, Bruins Vision lead commentator. Executive producers of Bruins Vision are Gary Chupp and Benji Hurst. Bethany's head of school is Dr. Tim Lehman. The principal is Hank Willems. The emergency backup table crew, Stella Parson and Milo Yoder. And I'm seeing here that there are about 14 kangaroos in Australia for each inhabitant of Uruguay, in case you ever need to know that. The Bruins are back in action next Tuesday. They host Jimtown. We'll have all the twists and turns for you right here on Bruins Vision. Coverage starts at 5:57, tip-off at 6 o'clock, again next Tuesday, November 12th. Bethany against Jimtown. Of course, it's November. We're on the downslope into winter weather. Who knows what's going to happen there or with anything else? Stay tuned to BethanyCS.net/Bethany Athletics or follow Bethany_Bruins on X, which used to be Twitter, for the latest schedule updates if schedule changes are necessary. I mean, you should follow Bethany_Bruins on X, formerly known as Twitter, for a wide variety of reasons. Schedule change is only one among them, but schedule change is kind of the important one at the moment. Now, for our entire Bruins Vision crew, I'm Tony Miller saying thanks for spending part of your Thursday evening with us. Until next Tuesday night, good luck, and don't run with scissors.